Luke Cage first appeared in Jessica Jones on Netflix, and then they decided in Marvel, hey, let's give him his own series and have Mike Colter play him, and then have Netflix crash when season 1 came out. And now season 2 is going to be available for streaming June 22nd. Thrilled to have Mike Colter here on the Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Rich.
Congratulations in advance of this conversation on all your success. It's amazing what this show has become and what it is.
Yeah, it's like the fans. It's all about the fans. The fans were there, and I always say it starts with the writing, the creator, and if people enjoy what we're doing, we're just trying to make it better. We hope to have a better second season than the first. So I'm hoping we can crash the internet again.
Okay, I'm sure it's coming. So what's your teams?
Oh man,
walk me down on your teams.
Well, I'm a Laker fan.
How'd that happen?
Try and true. Watching sports. I grew up in South Carolina.
Okay.
No major teams there. Carolina Panthers didn't come along into the '90s, and that was not good for me because at the time I was a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
Now I'm sort of taking a break on the Cowboys, but we'll get to that later.
You're taking a break.
Taking a break. Got to take a break, man. The whole organization. I got to take a break.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to take a break.
Why are we taking a break?
Well, honestly, look, I love the Cowboys, but when you watch a team, it's frustrating because you feel like they're broken from the management down, and then this whole thing now with Jerry Jones, I just feel like the leadership is just not where it should be, and so I'm not going to put my time in.
Okay, so you're taking a break from the Cowboys.
Taking a break.
All right. So is there an NFL team that you have turned?
I like the owner. I like the Jets. The Jets owner, man, is talking the kind of stuff I like to hear, man. So,
okay.
Yeah, he's
with the national anthem issue.
He's treating his men, like men. So I respect that. I think. As a matter of fact, their head coach is going to make an appearance. He's making an appearance on Cage season 2. So I might be a Jets fan this season.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles
pops up, man.
He's in Luke Cage season 2.
Yeah.
All right.
So can you give us a little more meat on the bones?
Well, actually,
there,
we dropped a little teaser trailer. Cage is going through some stuff, and he's trying to see what NFL teams might be interested in his services.
So Todd Bowles plays himself.
Yeah.
Because I know you're based in New York. It's
so why not
Harlem.
have him come up? Yeah.
So Todd Bowles. So speaking as a lifelong New York Jet fan, please tell me that Luke Cage is going to suit up for the New York Jets.
Can't tell you everything to suit. I mean, listen.
Got to stream it on June 22nd.
Got to stream it. Got to leave you something to look for. Yeah. Yeah.
Do we have Todd Bowles? You remember that drop with him? He lost his mind about Sam Darnold. Do you have that still, Mike Del Tufo? You got to get that old team.
Let me look, hang on.
Okay. In the meantime, so all right. So now you, Mike Colter, now looking at the Jets.
Yeah.
Hoops now. Lakers. Are you hoping that LeBron joins the team?
Lakers are rebuilding. I'm a Laker fan, and when they had the little split back when they had to choose between Kobe and Shaq, I was happy that Kobe stayed and we rebuilt, and we had a little time off, but we were always very competitive. I think now we have a couple pieces, but I don't see him coming there. I think the East is where he likes to be. Whoever comes to the Lakers, I will then hopefully be a fan of theirs.
Okay.
Now that being said, when Dwight came, I wasn't 100% on board on that. And
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard came. I wasn't 100% on board.
Neither
on that.
was Kobe, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. There's just a fit. There's just a fit thing, and it's nothing to do with him. I remember being in LA, and he was coming, and before he signed, I saw him hanging around LA, and I was just like walking around the mall and stuff, and I'm going, I wonder. And literally days later, it was he signed. So now I'm thinking, they nixed the whole Chris Paul thing, which, I'm still devastated by that. I feel so bad. Chris Paul, I wanted him to be healthy this season. I wanted him to play as long as he could play. They didn't let him hook up with Kobe. I'm still mad about that. Still mad about that. That was another ring for us.
I got to tell you, talk about how differently things could have worked out.
Oh, so differently.
Right. Instead, he goes to the Clippers. Now he's on the Rockets.
And then he gets injured.
And this is the first time that he made the Western Conference Finals in his entire career.
I know.
I felt for him this time. I thought he was about to beat the Warriors and move on to the finals. And then that dreaded
at the very
soft
least, you go to
injury.
Game 7 and you have the drama that you had in Boston. At least that much, because then
agree.
at least that to be injured for 2 games,
But 27 straight missed 3-pointers by the Rockets. I still can't believe it.
Well, I don't think they would have done that if he were on the floor. I feel like veteran leadership. I think he would have started to change the chemistry a bit, because that didn't make any sense to me either. You can get lulled into that because the Golden State Warriors start going in threes, and you feel like you have to start to match that. But that being said, you got to be able to go inside out. You got to get a good look, and you got to have rhythm. It's rhythm shots sometimes. It's rhythm shots.
Luke Cage himself, Mike Colter here on the Rich Eisen Show. Did you ever try sports yourself before getting into acting?
I played 1 year of everything, and it was never for me. I played football, and I remember hitting a guy in the special teams, and I hit him pretty hard. Got my bell rung. Everybody was cheering, and I could hear a ringing in my head. And I said, you know what? this doesn't make any sense. I don't know about this sport. Like, this doesn't feel right for me. And I said, this is probably it for me. This didn't make any sense. Hitting my head against someone as hard as I could. No.
So every other sport you played
1 year, everything 1 year. Hoops, had 1 year hoops.
How was your shot? How's your game?
Listen, you know what? I'm better now than I ever was then. back then I was
You can relate to that, Brockman. He sounds like you right now.
I'm way better now than I was then. Way better now.
So is it possible somebody goes and here in Los Angeles and then you're in a pickup game or something?
I played pickup up in Paul Revere High School. Is it high school or middle school?
Okay.
Brentwood. Me and some guys pick up on the weekend. When I'm in town, I try to get in. It's guys from 25 to 60. I mean, we're just out there breaking a sweat. We're playing we play Spurs basketball is what they call it.
Spurs.
Yeah, we're moving the ball around. We're breaking a sweat. Nobody's getting hurt. We're not trying to take anybody out.
What's your shot? I mean,
my shot. I got a couple
talk to
things.
Me about your game here.
I'm 6'3", right?
Okay.
In my school, I was one of the taller people. There were a couple tall guys, but they forced me into the low post game. So I didn't play a lot with my face in the basket. Okay. So I developed, and back then I could do a drop step dunk. I was you'd play low post. So I had a couple shots. I got a good fadeaway.
Okay.
I got a good elbow from the elbow shot, and I got a good bank shot. But mostly I like to go and cross the lane, sort of like that magic shot. You remember back in the 80s, we crosses the lane.
Sure.
And instead of hooking it, I like to come up and I go under. So no matter what, it's coming, but it's hard to stop it because everybody goes with the basketball. If you can palm it like Dr. J, you can bring it under. So that's my move.
So you flash? Is that what you do? You flash open?
I do.
You flash?
I do.
What do you like, Mike Colter, Luke Cage, when you don't get fed the ball, though?
You know what?
Because it seems like you're not initiating.
I got to play defense.
Fed. You need to be fed.
I like to play defense because defense is the start of everything. If you play good defense, you will be rewarded. That's how I.
Does this sound like your normal pickup player, Chris?
Well, Mike, I got a rec game tonight.
Listen, I block a shot, you feed me the ball. I block a shot, I break out.
If you got like 8:15, if you got like an hour to kill tonight,
can you give me a half hour to stretch?
Oh yeah,
because stretching is very important.
You can get there early. I'll even pick you up.
All right.
Hold on a minute. You're playing hoops during the fourth quarter of tonight's game?
Well, it's the last game of the season, Rich. We win tonight. We're #1 in the league. So
what does that get you?
Well, we could get one of those giant trophies.
You mean the big ones that everybody gets? Those?
Yeah, one of those huge ones.
The big ones.
One of the big ones.
The big. Okay, that makes sense.
How great would it be if you showed up with the man who plays?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it'd be pretty awesome. Because we don't have any height on our team.
Well, it's funny because we play with the same guys. These guys have been playing. I've been playing with these guys before I started playing Luke Cage. So it's normal with those guys. But then every once in a while they bring in new guys that come in and nobody tells them that I'm playing basketball with them.
Yes.
And I can see the look on their faces when I come on the court and they're like, and they're like, sort of like, what's that?
Yeah.
And then they don't say anything, and eventually I go, yeah, it's me. How you doing? Yep.
Now,
and then we can play basketball.
So, do you think LeBron at the end of Game 1 was in fact in position for the charge, or do you think he was moving?
No, look, I'm not mentioned on this. He was moving. He was moving. That his feet were not set, and this has started a long time ago. This whole thing about the charge. I understand he read the play well, but his feet were not set. He was sliding underneath them. And so for me, unless your feet are planted before that guy actually leaves the ground, that to me is not a charge. I mean, it's in real time, it's very hard to call that, but I felt he was sliding in. That's how I felt. I felt he was sliding
in.
I
mean, we're looking at it right now.
Yeah. So play it back now. I missed it.
We'll play it back. We'll play it back. You're saying his right foot was sliding in.
His feet were sliding. Yeah, it was so quick. That's why. See, right there, right foot still moving. He's trying to get in position.
But you can't then blow the whistle and say, let's review it to see if he's outside the circle.
Well, if you notice,
that's as obvious as that comes.
If you also notice, he sort of turned a little to the left. It's like he's kind of like leaning in. And LeBron's a big guy.
Wouldn't you if Durant's coming at you?
No, LeBron outweighs Durant by 30, 40 pounds. I mean, he could take that straight up. I thought if he stood his ground and sort of sold a little bit, he sort of looked like he was. It's minuscule. One guy says it's an offensive. One guy says it's
Oh my word! Okay, I want to take a break.
And that didn't change the game anyway. Listen, that didn't. You think that was momentum? You think that was it?
Let's take a 60-second break. I want to continue this on the other side with Mike Colter at Real Mike Colter on Twitter. He plays Luke Cage, as you know, on Netflix. We're back with Mike Colter in 60 seconds. All right, welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show, another segment with Luke Cage himself, Mike Colter, otherwise known as Hot Takes with Mike Colter here on the Rich Eisen Show. So you don't think that there's 30 seconds to go instead of the Cavs having the ball up 2 and Durant gets 2 free throws instead? You don't think that's that change the game, or you're just saying that J.R. Smith pulled such a rock that it didn't even matter?
Listen, the happiest man about that is Hill. He'll miss that free throw, man. If you're going to be honest, let's be honest. It should not have been up to J.R. The free throw was missed, and then he passed it back to Hill, and Hill got blocked. Now Hill's happy. Listen, J.R. is going to be the guy, the GOAT, not the kind of GOAT we like, but this is the situation. But no, the free throw should have been hit. And let's be honest. In 30 seconds, anything can happen with Golden State. They could score 20 points in 30 seconds.
They could have, but, even if the Cavs have an empty trip, they take 20 seconds off the shot clock.
Not if they foul immediately and put Hill or somebody like him on the line again. You got to hit those free throws, man. It's tough. It's tight. It's tight.
So that was our poll question on Friday. What was the biggest game-changing moment, the change from the charge to the block, or J.R. Smith? You'd have chosen J.R. Smith.
You mean as the biggest
game-changing moment of game number one?
No, honestly, it's a free throw. It's the free throw.
That wasn't even an option.
It is the only option. It's the free throw. You can't admit the free throw. Now you have to score something in 4.5 seconds.
So what's the acting equivalent of what J.R. Smith did? Showing up for the biggest scene without knowing your lines on a live broadcast?
It's live stage. And going up on your line to the point where you can't pull it back. You can't. There's a time. There was an actor I know. I won't say his name, but I love this guy. We got into a run and we were doing week after week after week, and the point comes on when he's supposed to enter, and he got very lazy, and he used to always come just about the right time. He had to travel from like backstage, and it was a good 2-minute trip. Well, he forgot his cue, and the cue came up on the intercom, and he wasn't there. He wasn't even there, and he hadn't even started his trip yet. And so there's about a good minute of just there's nothing you can do. We don't know what to say. Stage is sort of like everyone's like just in horror. And we have a lot of big actors and big people in the audience and stuff. And you could hear him running, panicking, trying to get. You could just hear him, and it was
and you were on stage waiting?
No, luckily I didn't have to be on stage. I just left, and I was just sitting there watching him, and I was just like
sort of like Ty Lue.
Yep, just sitting there, can't call timeout. But they had a timeout left, right? Oh, I didn't know. Okay, so there you go. So wait a minute. So they had a timeout.
No. Ty Lue is also he might as well be where the Raiders play across the street. It's too far away. You can't get attention to somebody.
Well, I thought LeBron was trying to call one, but he wasn't sure. Was he not sure?
Look, in real time also, though, at least whoever this actor was, named.
I'm not going to say his name.
We know who this actor is, though?
You do, but there's more than one reason I'm not going to say his name. It goes into I can't say his name. It's nothing to do with like
what does it rhyme with?
What does it rhyme with?
No,
okay.
God.
But at least you said that there was a 2-minute space for this actor. This is 4 seconds. Who the hell's going to think J.R. Smith is dribbling the ball out and realizing what the hell he's doing?
That's
crazy.
That's true. But I was wondering. Okay, he didn't take the shot immediately. Whatever time. I thought if you get the rebound, I thought, okay, you missed the free throw. Don't you have a plan for what happens if you hit the free throw and if you don't? Isn't that like a coaching thing? I'm not saying that they should have or did not. I just thought that as soon as if you're lucky enough to get the rebound over Kevin Durant, we have a plan. We have a plan. I thought that this was something that a detail where you go minuscule, you have seconds. What are we going to do if this happens? What are we going to do if this happens? And what are we going to do if, God forbid, this happens? And I thought that they got caught a little bit there. If there was an assumption made.
Mike Colter here on the Rich Eisen Show, dropping some news in the last segment that Todd Bowles has a cameo in season 2 of Luke Cage, where Luke Cage tries to
I'm
play
looking
football
for a gig, man.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Looking for a gig.
Looking for a gig.
And I do believe we have an exclusive soundbite of Todd Bowles responding to Luke Cage. Okay, here we go. What do you have here?
He was great. I want him to play right now.
There we go. There we go.
I like that.
There we go. That was in
exactly
response. That was in response to being asked how Sam Bradford looked on day 1
of
his practice, and he was just making fun because he never talks
of course.
that way.
Day one, yes, day one. Exactly.
I didn't know he could raise his voice. Actually, Todd Bowles.
You know what? That's the Bill Belichick approach. Works for him.
So now, who else has got cameos that we'd know in season 2?
Well, it's you know what, we got we didn't have them up there, but Michael and Jamel. They're on.
Michael Smith.
Yep.
Jamel Hill. Is it true that Stephen A. is on this too?
Yeah, he was on the trailer. We have Stephen A. in there. You got a lot of hip hop aficionados.
What do I got to do?
Say no more. 3rd season. You're in there, buddy.
What do I got to do here?
Listen, we didn't know you were interested. We didn't know.
I was on ESPN before all those people.
You're telling me, dude. Listen, I would say grew up, but I wasn't growing up. I was in college. watching you and Stu create the platform in which everybody else is standing on right now. I'm not kidding you. You guys made it cool. You made it hip. I didn't watch anything. I didn't watch Friends. I didn't even know what Friends was until like I got out of college. I'm not kidding you. I was too busy partying and having a good time. I don't know what people were doing watching Friends because I was like, "What? Aren't you out having a good time?"
Let me tell you a story about doing a Sports Center with Stewart. I did, because he got a lot of grief about, you know, his pop culture references and how it was lost on the audience a lot. So I once did one of the many Sports Centers do with Stewart. I dropped a Seinfeld line.
Oh yeah.
And we go to commercial break. He goes, "What did you just say?" And I just told, well, I forget what Seinfeld line it was. He goes, "What's that from?" I'm like, "It's from Seinfeld." He goes, "Psh, brothers don't watch Seinfeld."
Brothers don't watch Seinfeld. Listen.
And
here's the thing. I love Seinfeld. I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I just didn't watch Friends because it's just my time was taken partying and I was going to school. But you guys, we never missed. And you guys would play over and over. And the Tiger was in his heyday. It was a great time because we could always watch you guys, and you guys made it really hip.
Well, right back at you. That Stewart, I think, would have loved Luke Cage. And you and watching you do your thing and watching Luke Cage do its thing. I think if he was alive to see it, he would be one of the people crashing the internet to watch your show.
He was. I didn't meet him. He was sitting next to me in Tao restaurant in Manhattan Midtown, and I think I was celebrating my birthday. I believe it was, or maybe my wife's birthday. I'm not sure who it was.
Right.
We were sitting at the booth next to him, and I was too nervous to say anything. He was with a few people, and
That's too bad.
And I literally, I mean, I think we were. I don't think the show had come out yet, or at least I had probably. I don't think the show had come out yet. I think this was a couple. When did he pass?
He passed 2 years ago.
Yeah, so the Jessica Jones came out. So this show literally it wasn't out yet. It wasn't out yet. And I remember seeing him going, I should, and I'm just not that kind of guy. I wish I was, and I just would have, because I didn't know, I wasn't thinking that way, but yeah, he was a great guy, and loved everything about him.
He would have been, I mean, he didn't turn anybody away. Seriously. Yeah. Anybody who came up to him, wanted to say anything to him, he would always, it's too bad. But it's all good. Just know that he would have
loved the show.
No question.
Well, we had a guy, Reggie Cathy, who passed away actually in the
great actor.
Great actor.
House of Cards as well. Yep.
Great actor. Played my father. Second season. He had a cancer battle himself, and I watched him from the time he got diagnosed to the time from the time leaving the show and trying to just deal with that. And I kept in touch with him and trying to just check in and stuff like that. And he was so optimistic and so brave and so wonderful and warm and coming on set every day. And I just thought to myself, wow, he taught me a lot about life. Like what's important, what matters, he just was a great guy. And I wish I knew him longer. He just, yeah.
Well, in season 2 of Luke Cage, you seem to be, as your character, taking on your fame and soaking it in.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's part of the parcel why we asked our poll question today. Ask the poll question of the man who inspired it through his portrayal of Luke Cage. Chris?
Yeah, Mike, would you rather be a superhero in disguise or a superhero in the open?
Ooh. Well, on the show, in the open works great. In real life, if I had powers, I'd want to be in disguise because, as we know, there are repercussions for every good deed done nowadays. So I need to do some good deeds and not have to worry about people, kicking me out of the country for doing them.
It's unbelievable how so many people want to be in disguise.
Yeah, 80%.
You got to be in disguise. Listen, all the bad people are in disguise. I mean, nobody shows their faces. I mean, everybody's like, until nobody. Here's the thing: when you're doing something good, you should want to be in the open. That's how I look at it. But when you're doing something bad, you might want to put something over your head.
Okay.
Nobody wants to.
You look forward to Luke Cage season 2 coming out. Really appreciate you coming on here.
Thank you, man.
You got it. And congratulations, as I said. So in season 3, that's when I get
season 3, dude. I'm going to call my creator right now and say, listen, we got to figure this out. We're going to do this. We're going to do it.
Now. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
If you need any help coming up with a role for me, I'll help as well. I've played myself. Oh God, what else have I done?
Announcer.
I've been announcer.
Yep. Stuart Scott.
Actually, that's true.
You played.
Yes. Well, Stuart and I were in, what was it? Disney's The Kid together.
Okay.
We did our cameos. And when it came time to filling out the paperwork for how we wanted to be credited, Stuart's like, how about you put down me and I put down you?
Yeah.
So it says Stuart Scott as Rich Eisen and Rich Eisen as Stuart Scott.
You swap. Well, we did that. Me and my creator toying with the idea of getting Luke Cage out to LA because I live in LA and I have a place there too. But I wouldn't mind shooting here. So we're toying with the idea. So first stop if Luke Cage comes out to Los Angeles will be the Rich Eisen show.
That'll be great. We are here for that, and then next we'll be showing up at Brockman's basketball game tonight.
8:15 tonight.
There you go. Very
8:15.
good. There you go.
Across the street from the Fox lot.
That'd be
We're good.
fantastic. You show up with Luke
Stretch your Achilles and make sure you get your knees stretched out. You know,
We're all
that's
good,
the
Mike.
first
We
thing.
got this.
Knees and Achilles.
At Real Mike Colter on Twitter. Hey, don't
Thank
be a
you.
stranger. Hopefully this first of many times you hanging out here.
Hope so, man.
You got it. Mike Colter here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.